Cubs a winner yesterday. Today is the home opener. If the weather holds up, let's talk some Cubs baseball. The Cubs raising the W flag for the first time under Craig Counsell in 2024. Go Cubs. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure that you hit the bell so you know when we're dropping new content. And thank you for hanging out here with us on the Cubs baseball channel. Go Cubs. What do you say, everybody? It's Mick Gillispie at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. And I know I'm not the most social guy out there, but I do invite you to join me there, and we'll talk some Cubs baseball from time to time. And I'll let you know when we drop in new content and what we got going on, including today as we get started here, the home opener this afternoon at Wrigley Field. And yesterday in Arlington, the Cubs with a win. They could have took 2 out of 3. I don't know that they would have won Saturday, but Thursday they lost in extras. And then Sunday, all things tied up. And into the 9th inning, it was Ian Happ, who had a 4-for-5 game, drew a bases-loaded walk. He carried the Cubs to the first win of the season. I got to tell you a couple things. First off, we debated last year where we liked Happ in the lineup. We didn't like him in the third spot. But we like him in the first spot. He's a dangerous number one hitter. I'm not saying he's going to steal a bunch of bases, but he switch hits. He's got power. He's got a great eye, a great on-base percentage. And yesterday it was, bases loaded, need a run. He drew a walk, and that opened the gates to a big 9th inning and a 9-5 win in Arlington over the Rangers. And a win that I don't know that you needed, but you didn't want to get swept. And when you play a 3-game series against the defending World Series champions and you win 2 out of 3, you're not so worried. I mean, that's the world of Major League Baseball. So congratulations to the Cubs, and tip of the cap to Ian Happ, because he was a big influence in the Cubs raising that W flag. Now let's talk about the game itself. And I got to start with Christopher Morel. 3-run homer, first inning, you're off and running. Then him in the field, another bad day for Morel. And this is what we're looking at. It's going to take time. Ground ball to third, he gets it. And instead of basically getting over the throw and throwing it to first, kind of threw it like this, skipped it past Michael Busch. And you got to feel for Michael Busch. I mean, this is a guy who hasn't played first base since college, and I'm sure he's got good hands. He's actually looked respectable at first base defensively. And then you got Morel, where you don't know where the damn ball's going. So, that kind of put Wicks in a bad spot. The defense could have been better behind Wicks. Wicks got the start, and it was another one of those deals for the Cubs starters where, it could have been better. But then you look at it and you go, you know what? If you guys would have made plays behind these guys, maybe the game would have turned out totally different. And I felt for Wicks. It's hard for me to really get an assessment of exactly what we're looking at right now with the starting rotation, because, last year the defense was so good. And this year it just, through 3 games, it just hasn't been solid. But Wicks pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 5 earned runs with 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, but of the 5 runs, only 2 of those earned. And, as much as I'm sitting here over and chopping this up with you guys, the errors definitely have to be something that the Cubs do a better job of. And it was, Morel and Swanson, Morel with a throw, Swanson fielding, and the errors behind Wicks, the errors behind Ben Brown, on Saturday, those matter. And this defense was really, really good last year. And so far this year, the defense, through 3 games, it's got to get better. And I think it will. But the thing about Morel is his entire career, in my mind, has always been he does great things with the bat and then running the bases, but his defense is just so erratic, or his base running can be erratic, that he cancels out what he does with the bat with what he does in the field or on the bases. So he's got to get better, and he's got to be more consistent. And I mean, we're only 3 games in, but it is getting frustrating already watching him, kick the ball around over at third base. And I guess we're just going to have to kind of dig in on that, because if he's going to get good at that position, it's going to take time. And we didn't see that in the minor leagues. So we're going to have to see it here at the major league level, or, he's or they're going to put him at DH. And I think they really want him to play third base. So that's where we are. Now, one of the biggest positives to me in the game was the Cubs' 9th inning killer instinct. Tie game, 9th inning, what are you going to do? And they get the first run on the walk. That breaks the tie. Now it's 6-5, and they just kept pouring it on. I love that mentality from a team. A team that sees an opportunity, and instead of just being satisfied with 1 run, you just keep on pouring them on. And it put the Rangers in a spot where it was like, hey, this game's over. Let's just get this thing done and move on. You get 1, then, hey, man, 1 swing ties it. 2, he's still in this. But, when you put up a 4 spot in a tie game, now all of a sudden you're in great position to win, and that's exactly what the Cubs were able to do. So Craig Counsell finally in the win column as the Cubs manager. Good for him. Congratulations. It's hard to really assess what to expect from him as the Cubs manager in a limited amount of games as the skipper. But so far, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. It hasn't been won or lost on him. It's been, guys making mistakes in the field or not taking advantage of opportunities. But, it's going to be a while before we really get an idea of what he brings to the game each and every day. But congratulations to him on Easter Sunday, getting that first Cubs win. And look, the win, as disappointing as it was on Thursday, winning, taking a game out of 3 against a team that's as good as the Rangers. I mean, they won the World Series last year, is what you come to expect. It's kind of the way that this game works. If a good team wins 1 out of 3 on the road against a great opponent, and that's what the Cubs did. So that's where we are right now. Guys, I want you to get in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about the game. Big win for the Cubs. We will be watching today to see, first off, if the weather holds out, and then secondly, if the Cubs play the Rockies at Wrigley, what's Chris Bryant going to look like? I mean, we're always watching Chris Bryant. It's still crazy that he isn't a lifelong Cub, but, went after the money, did the story in The Athletic in the offseason, kind of made it sound like he jumped at that deal. And the Rockies will be opening up the home schedule for the Cubs at Wrigley. Last year, at the end of the season, when the Cubs needed some wins, Chris Bryant came in, and after having a dismal season, he had a couple of his best games of the year against the Cubs. So disappointing as it is. So anyway, just want to say again, I got this when I was at Wrigley Field a couple of days ago. The obvious shirt, Rhino hat, Rhino Strong, man. We're thinking about Ryan Sandberg. Saw where he posted on his Instagram, kind of where he's at right now in his battle with cancer. I love Rhino. You guys see him on the intro every day. I just hope that he's able to win this, just like he did in the game of baseball. And we're praying for him and his family. And it was good to see a portrait of the entire Sandberg crew on Easter. But love you, Rhino. And I know everyone else here does as well. And we're just praying that, you beat this battle with cancer, and we're keeping an eye on you. But we got our gear on. I know a lot of you guys have the Rhino Strong stuff, and apparently all that money goes to cancer research and Rhino. So I think that's really cool. All right, we'll talk to you guys after the game if it's played, and if not, we'll still talk to you later on today. But go Cubs, get in the comment section. Make sure that you like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again soon. Go Cubs.